a ton of Division One commits. They ended up actually tying Friday night, and then rattled off three straight. You look SEC, ACC. Their top six are all big time Power Five guys, and on the mound they have some guys as well. So it's they stood out a lot. Obviously, I know it's tough to touch on everybody, but Friday night here was especially impressive. I think we had five guys over 90, a guy up to 94. That's the kind of stuff in these fall tournaments that you really like to see. Obviously, with football, things like that. It's tough for guys to get out, but especially on a Friday night to see that type of talent here was awesome.
Dive into this USA Prime Scout team that's now going to head to the plate. They're 4-0 going into today's bracket play, outscoring opponents 36-2 to win their pool. They beat Premier Prospects 11-zip on Friday, Canes Baseball Adams 6-2 on Saturday, Tennessee Prospects National 9-0 on Sunday, also a 10-0 winner against Nelson Baseball School on Sunday. Then again edged out Slammers Givens 8-7 in 10 innings on Monday, mentioning it, walking it off in 10 innings as Ian Fullerton delivered on that RBI single. So they will start it off here with Aiden Harris, followed by Jake Gaskill and Jackson Bradfield. On the mound for Prime Baseball, we're going to see Ben Fussell here.
It's always good to see Ben, former Junior Future Game alumni for Georgia in 2022. It's always good to see those guys coming back through and be able to watch them grow and develop.
Yeah, I talked to Ben a little bit pregame and asked him, how long are you going to go? And he said, I'll go as long as I can because we only got like 2 pitchers left for this thing. So they're going to try to see if Ben can eat some innings for him and take him deep into this game. Ben primarily a shortstop. He's the 13th ranked shortstop in Georgia and 26th and number 45 player overall. Out of Coffee County, the Coffee Boys. Swing and a miss.
Ben was actually able to get some playing time at Coffee his freshman year. I think he started at second base for those guys, so that's always good to see.
The dribbler goes foul. Watches that one bounce away. There's a 3-2, sends that one down the right field line, right at the first baseman for out number 1.
We've seen both teams early on be able to find some barrels. That's always a good thing. A good job by the pitchers filling up the strike zone and making guys put the ball in play and good things happen.
Here is Jake Gaskill. Jake shows bunt, pulls it back. Jake out of North Gwinnett High School. He's the 11th ranked outfielder in Georgia in 2025, currently uncommitted. Swing and a miss for strike number 2. Jake can absolutely move, got a 60 time down to 6.46. Comes the 1-2. Ducks away, run it to 2-2. Run that count full. Mentioned he's 6'4" in the 60 at last weekend's prep baseball All-American game festivities. Saw one of the fastest times I've personally ever seen in this 60, a 6.29. Swing and a miss. 2 down now. You had 3 local players in that event. You had Ty Peoples and along with Dominic Stevenson from Harrison, and then Cannon Golden, who decided to show up and make the trip despite the fact that he's in a boot now and having to push himself around in a scooter after a foot injury in football. Sends that one foul.
We saw Ty Peoples, obviously on our last broadcast. He just continues to hit no matter whether it's at the All-American game or here at Lakepoint. Seems to have a knack for finding the barrel.
He's making a lot of fans seemingly everywhere he goes. I mean, I think everybody up in Milwaukee for that event was talking about him, both in workouts and after the game was over with. It's really impressive. Make it 1-2.
Both pitchers, like I said, done a great job of pounding the strike zone, making guys put the ball in play. When it gets late in these tournaments, that's obstacle number one, is being able to throw a lot of strikes and trust your defense to help you out behind you.
Haven't mentioned it yet, but this is Jackson Bradfield at the plate from Cherokee. Jackson swings and misses and going to get away from the catch with a drop throw, but makes the throw to first and going to be out of that half of an inning. Continue to be scoreless here in the Upperclass World Series final here from Lakepoint Sports. We're now going to head over to Simone Stanley, who has a coach from Prime Baseball who's now going to join us.
Coach, your team has only been giving up about 3 runs per game throughout the PBR tournaments this year. What's been so strong?
Pitching. So this team has come a long way in the last couple of years that we've started it. Obviously having a Blake Bryan on the team, we've got a Ryan Whitley, we've got several guys that will pitch at the D1 level. And then I would have to say our defense. As the kids have progressed from 13 on up, they've understood, it's not about playing defense and really focus on it when we practice.
And every game in a championship tournament brings different challenges. When you look at this USA Prime opponent, what's going to take from Prime Baseball to get the win?
So they've got a dude on the mound right now who's going to be 89 to 91. He's going to Mercer, so that's the first obstacle. It's good velo. He's a good pitcher, so we're going to have to battle.
He's in an iPad.
Hopefully, get some guys on, play some small ball, and then Ben Fussel's a really good pitcher for us, and hopefully he keeps us in the game.
And in your semifinal game, it was a blowout. The bats were hot. What's it going to take to get them to wake up here soon?
I think you get that first big base hit or, guy on base and you get a base hit, I think things start to roll from there. So hopefully we can put some hits together.
All right, good luck, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Corey?
Along to the second inning here at the Upperclass World Series final. Corey McCartney, PBR Georgia's Avery Hunt with you. Continue here for Prime Baseball on the mound, still Ben Martin, and now we've got number 15 up to the plate here for Prime Baseball, and that's Miles Barber. Miles from Fountain Inn, South Carolina. He's the #1 middle infielder in South Carolina in 2025, the 122nd player overall in the state. Currently uncommitted, and watches that one glance up almost by his helmet. A lot of Prime today.
I know.
Like we should be sponsored by Prime. Maybe we'll have a little intro from Prime later on. That one to the short. Nice play in time to get the out. Some nice glove work there by Braden Kersey at shortstop to make the play. Kersey from Alpharetta, 2024.
I was talking to Prime Baseball's head coach that we just saw there, Shane Monahan, and he was like, yeah, a lot of people get us confused with the name, and it's like, no, we're different people, so that's, it seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, he was talking to me before the game. I mean, he and a lot of the players on that team really excited because Blake Bryant, who you're going to see a little bit later, who's playing the outfield for Prime today, is a Clemson commit, but he hit 90 miles an hour for the first time today. So Shane said the goal was 90, and now with a couple years left in high school, now the goal for Blake is going to try to be to ratchet that fastball up to 95. So we'll see what Clemson commit has in store. And that one, another play to short. Another nice job by Kersey, makes the out, able to pull down the tag and get him for number 2. It's a nice play there from Braden Kersey so far in this inning at short.
I've seen Ben Martin here throw a steady, quite a few breaking balls this inning. So, looks like he's trying to go to that pitch, get a feel for it, and he's being able to keep the guys from Prime Baseball off balance a little bit here.
Not to apologize, it's actually Planeta who's playing shortstop. We're not going off of the rosters that we have in this lineup. You had mentioned to me they actually have combined a couple of these Prime teams as this tournament's going on. So not necessarily what you see online in our rosters, necessarily the numbers and the players that are out there on this team right now.
Absolutely. Just with school on Monday and some out-of-state guys having to catch flights, guys wanted to compete in bracket play, and so they had to have some guys come up from their 16-year-old team and be able to play with these guys to, try and win a few games here today and, compete.
2 down in the inning, 2-0 is the count. Misses high and inside. All right, comes a 3-0 from Martin. Another miss, so we're going to have a 2-out walk. And here is Quinn Johnson, and he follows Roman Colella, who drew that walk, and the catcher going to be replaced by a courtesy runner. Quinn Johnson comes up there, a pretty imposing figure at 5'10", 185 pounds from Calvary Day in Savannah.
Being around late last night, a lot of the Prime guys, once they clinched making it to bracket play, they all seemed pretty happy to not be able to go to school today. So, I mean, can't say I blame them. I think as a 16, 17-year-old, I would probably be in the same boat.
That's right. Better to play ball than make that trip back to South Carolina to go to school.
Absolutely.
A runner first, 2 down. Here's the 1-0. Misses to make it 2-0. Blake Bryant, who I mentioned in the on-deck circle with the leadoff man Tyson Brazington waiting as this inning continues. Misses to make it 3-0. I mentioned that there are 3 D1 commits on this Prime Baseball team. They actually have 7 players in total that have state or national rankings, and Blake Bryant, Kason Fletcher, Tyler Van Sermon, Trey Dormancy, Ben Fussell, Tyson Brazington, and Miles Barber. So a number of guys on this team that come in with some strong credentials. But again, Bryant, Fletcher, and Van Summer are the only committed players. This is what you get when you use a guy who doesn't maybe necessarily get a lot of time on the mound.
Yeah, it's 7 straight balls. Their head coach has decided to come out and give him a breather, maybe, give him a few tips to kind of, stay towards the plate, be able to get back in the zone here is, no coach likes 2-out walks, so seemed like a good time for a mound visit there.
Yeah. Well, Martin does run that fastball up to 91. He does come in as the 35th ranked righty in Georgia in 2025. So he doesn't get a lot of mound time. Guy actually does thrive when given the chance. 86.5 on the fastball there. Also has a change into the 70-79 range and works in a curveball from 74 to 78. See what he does here on 3-1. Maybe that cue must have helped out. Makes it 3-2.
Seeing him go back-to-back fastballs there, seemingly right down the middle, one for a called strike. Got the swing and miss there. So looks like the mound visit has paid off so far.
fires that one foul. Been part of that Alatoona team that get to work pitching wise with Casey Lynch, who we see Casey quite a bit here. For those in Braves country, his wife Kelsey Wingert used to be the Atlanta Braves sideline reporter, now doing those duties for out in Colorado for the Rockies.
It's probably worse places you could work than
That's right.
in Denver, Colorado.
It turned into a little bit of a battle here. Now 3-2. Throws over to keep that runner honest.
Might be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here. Interesting to see if he might try to mix in an off-speed pitch.
All right, let's see what direction Martin goes, and it's not going to get it. So another walk. Much better job working around the miscues there against Quinn Johnson, but draws another walk, and here comes Blake Bryant with 2 on and 2 out, and Prime Baseball looking to break through here in the top of the 2nd inning.
Looks like Martin went and got a towel to kind of help with the sweat on his hand. Maybe that might be affecting him a little bit out there on the mound.
Yeah, if this was boxing and the coach throws in the towel, it's usually a bad thing.
Yeah, normally we see that a good bit here, especially during the summer, you know, with the hot, humid weather we have down here, and especially from a lot of the out-of-state teams, not quite used to the humidity and heat. So as long as it stays on the back side of the mound there, guys are allowed to have it.
Misses high to Bryant. And the 1-0, another miss. That one skips away, and the runners are both going to advance.
Looks like there was a little bit of a miscommunication there between pitcher and catcher. Usually when you see that and the catcher automatically goes hand up to the mound, that's somebody wasn't on the same page. Maybe might have been expecting a fastball there and got a breaking ball and led the ball getting by and the runner's moving up.
Well, that's Sam Tomczak behind the plate, and he and Martin, by the way, are high school teammates. All right, Martin's 2-0. Got it that time, make it 2-1.
Good pitch there, right on the outside half at the knees. It's one of the better pitches a pitcher can make.
Nice job by Tomczak off the net, but unfortunately, that doesn't count. Martin remove some of that moisture, and here we go, 2-2. Bryant sends that one foul. This AB is going to continue.
You've seen the last 2 hitters for Prime Baseball here be able to, you know, extend the count, battle, you know, foul off a few pitches. So increase that pitch count might help them out a little bit down the line, especially like we talked about late in these events with the limited availability in pitching.
He's already thrown 35 pitches, but gets that strikeout. So we're going to be through another half of an inning there. Continues to be scoreless here, Prime Baseball and USA Prime. We're going to see Ben Fussell up to bat as things continue, and we see USA Prime up to bat in this next inning. So Fussell going to be joined, This Prime thing does kind of get confusing.
It
when you try to
does.
figure out, you go back and forth here on this one. Getting down, we'll have the Underclass World Series coming up next. Talk a little bit about this time of the season for the PBR tournaments, what we still have left as we head into these last few weeks of the fall season.
Absolutely. We have two more high school events, our Underclass Fall World Series, obviously, like you just said, and then our PBR Fall Classic. Then we'll kind of go transition into the youth period for 4 weeks, so those last 2 weekends in October and the first 2 weekends in November. We have a lot of talent coming in, the 14 and under age group, especially in our Fall State Championship. So we'll go back a little bit more towards the little guys, those last 4 events. So still see the same amount of number of teams here, same amount of talent. It'll just be on the younger guys side of things, and just kind of cruising along until wintertime hits and baseball kind of takes a break for a little bit.
All right, so as we mentioned, USA Prime going to be up to bat. Here is Ian Fullerton, who delivered that game-winning hit to get USA Prime to the final. He's going to be followed by Kennesaw State commit Michael Hunter Stonecipher and Keaton Neal.
We saw Fullerton yesterday as well in the early morning game on field 14. Hit a long home run to right field, so there's definitely some power in the bat, and like you said, delivered the game-winning hit in the semifinal.
He's got an exit velo up to 97.9 on his profile. He's the 12th ranked first baseman in Georgia in 2024, number 259 overall. Sends that one to first base, gonna tap the bag for the first out.
Oh.
That one.
I think that one rolled foul, so he'll go back.
All right. I was gonna say 55.3 exit velo, about half of what we're talking about the height of what he's got on his profile.
Just a bit out front there. Got out on the front side and pulled that one foul.
All right, let's see if he times it up here. 1-2. Shoots that one into center field. Able to run it down. 88.2 on that exit velo, so sends it up a notch, but still going to result in the first out for USA Prime. We mentioned Michael Hunter Stonecipher, and here he is, PBR Future Games representative for Georgia this past summer. That was a really talented Georgia team, and he was one of a number of really good catchers in that group.
Absolutely. We saw him, have 2 or 3 doubles to right center and also hit a home run. He performed as well as anybody at that event.
He's the 3rd ranked catcher in Georgia in 25. Number 30 overall is the 37th ranked catcher in the nation in the class. Gets that exit velo around 96. 6 foot, 185 pounds out of Clark Central. There he is getting a 3-0 and watches it down the middle for strike number 1.
A little interesting nugget about him. He's actually playing his high school with an academy. He's actually a homeschool kid, so he is. So the Monday school today might not be as much of an issue for him.
It's going to draw a walk, a 1-out walk. This, by the way, this USA Prime team used to be Yankees Baseball Club, and they've transitioned over. So
I think we talked about it last time. We kind of see that a little bit in the travel baseball atmosphere of teams changing names, changing affiliations. It's kind of getting to that time of year. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some more. You never really know, and you just kind of have to decipher who is who and who used to be who. So
because we went from Team Georgia to 5-star baseball, which was confusing in its own right to go from the red and blue to the yellow, but now we're doing the same thing here with USA Prime. It used to be Yankees Baseball Club. Swing and a miss. This is Keaton Neal. Keaton's from Spring Hill High School in Olathe, Kansas. That one a short, nice stop. Makes the throw, but pulls the way wide. So we're going to have Neal at first, and Stone Cipher's going to advance to third. Give the first baseman much of a chance on that one as it just sailed over his head.
The slow choppers like that, you try not to, but you always seem to almost rush it, and it looks like he rushed that one a little bit, and it kind of sailed on him. Gave USA Prime a good opportunity here to score first in this ballgame.
Here's the left fielder, Fladibo. Another one of these players as this event is going on, or not necessarily on the team's roster going into the event. Just that one for a ball.
Missed again there for ball 2. It's a good hitter's count here with a guy running with a runner in scoring position. See if they can come through.
All right, there's a 2-0. Another miss, make it 3-0.
Be interesting to see here if they give him the green light to swing away 3-0. Looks like we have a balk call that's going to score our first run of the ball game.
So Fussell fakes a throw and gets called for a balk and makes it 1-0. Fussell gets strike number 1. So Heineman is to follow for USA Prime, followed by Sam Tomzak, the catcher.
Another called strike there, so full count here.
Did not expect it. I don't think he expected that.
Fussell's done a good job of kind of getting himself back in this at bat and pushing it to a full count. Is the bad part about that balk too is he still has a guy with a runner in scoring position. Looks like we'll see a mound visit here after the 3-2 pitch missed high and in.
Well, as Fussell told me before this outing, they only have a couple pitchers left, so hoping he can go a little bit deeper in the game, I'm sure, than the second inning. See if he can calm down here and find his rhythm, because certainly they would like him to go a little bit deeper into this game.
Absolutely. The 2 walks in the air, allowing the run to score, and followed that second walk there. Now he's got guys on first and second, still only 1 guy out. So kind of getting themselves in some hot water here.
See how he starts off. Heineman, the DH. This is on a breaking ball at 69.9 miles an hour. That's back to the runner. Here comes the 1-0. Shoots that one to left field. That one is.
Looks like that one bounced over the fence for a ground rule double.
So we're gonna have a ground rule double from Heineman there to make it 2-0 for USA Prime. Runner's gonna stop at second and third. Just jumped on that pitch. It was 87.7 off the bat. Sam Tomzak with two runners in scoring position, trying to build on this 2-0 lead for USA Prime here in the bottom of the second.
Nice touch here by Sam with the bat matching the arm
right.
sleeve.
Having talked to Sam a few times, I think that's something he takes pride in. Tomzak fires the 1-0 foul.
Good job by Fussell here to get ahead in the count after the past few guys he started out behind. Kind of opens up some options here for him on what pitch he wants to go to.
Bounces the 1-2, and the runners are going to stay.
Really good work there behind the plate to keep that ball in front and prevent any other runs from scoring and keeping everybody where they are on the base pass. Back in another full count here for Fussell as he tries to work out of this. And that ball is hit pretty deep to left field and will be caught out there for a sac fly. As another run. Looks like Tomzak has driven another run.
All right, so Fussell running into some trouble here against these USA Prime bats and makes it 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning.
Missed again there with another fastball up in the zone. Fussell's kind of in the middle right now, missing up with the fastball and down with the breaking ball. He just can't quite seem to find that happy medium and get that release point on both pitches. We saw him do a really good job in the first inning of working down in the zone, creating some softer contact.
Down the middle on 3-0. Let's try to make it 3-2. This is Anthony Planeta, playing shortstop from Alatoona at the plate. And swings and misses get the strikeout to end the inning, but not before USA Prime makes it 3-0 off of a balk and a couple well-hit balls. So 3-0 as we head on here at Lakepoint Sports. We'll be back with more shortly here from the Upperclass World Series Championship in Emerson, Georgia. Welcome back to Lakepoint Sports. Emerson, Georgia, Corey McCartney, PBR Georgia's Avery Hunt. This is the Upperclass World Series Championships between USA Prime Scout Team and Prime Baseball. 3-0 is your lead for Prime Baseball as we move along here. We are now in the bottom of the third inning and saw some miscues there. A balk from Prime Baseball allowed USA Prime to get that first run, and then just a couple well-hit balls to end up making it 3-0, so some work to do as Prime Baseball goes up to the plate here in the third inning.
Absolutely, and inning kind of started with some, unforced errors per se with, with the balk and a few walks to kind of get things going, and those things always seems to come back and bite you, especially early on in innings.
So here's Tyson Brasington back at the top of the order for Prime Baseball, Slade Bird to follow, and Drew Hammock. Martin sends that one into right field. He'll be down for a base hit. So Martin was a little erratic there in the second inning, but a visit from the coach kind of changed some things. He looked a little bit more locked in, was going to the fastball a little bit more. So we'll see what he looks like here as he goes out for his third inning of work against this Prime Baseball team.
Good piece of hitting there to lead off the inning. Jumped on that first pitch heater and was able to drive it to right field for a hit.
So this is Slade Bird, the shortstop from Hilton Head. No one gets away from Tom Zach. If you go to school in Hilton Head, I guess the question is, why would you ever leave?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if I lived there how much school I would go to, honestly, with all the stuff they have going on down there. It's be tough to turn down sitting near the ocean every day.
Well, Slade Bird decided to make the trip here to Georgia and facing a 1-0 count right now to Ben Martin. Runner's going to go, and Tom Zach's just going to hold. I see that one dead ball, so we're going to make it 1-1.
Interesting to know if that was a straight steal with a swing or a design hit and run here, trying to maybe spark the offense a little bit by Prime Baseball.
Well, Martin knows the runner wants to go, so throws over to keep him honest. Tom Zach gives the signs, and here comes the 1-1. This is pretty badly glove side, arm side.
That was a design hit and run, and it's 2-1 count here is a good spot. If you want to maybe try it again, would be interesting to see.
We got Tyson Brasington at first base, and that one shoots to second base, makes a flip to short, throw back to first, and gonna hold instead. So one down as they get the lead runner, but Slade Bird still able to make it to first, and now you're gonna have Drew Hammock up to the plate with one on and one down.
Looks like he may have lost the ball on the transfer there. So if you saw some confusion there at second base, looks like transferring it from the glove to the hand to throw to first. The ball may have popped out there, but the out stands either way.
All right, Drew Hammock from Crawford County High School in Knoxville. 6'1", 160. Primarily right-handed pitcher. Watches that one for a ball. And when he is on the mound, Drew gets that fastball up in the 85 range. Also works in a curveball and change. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Went back to the fastball there after missing with the 0-0 breaking pitch.
So we've got Case and Fletcher to follow and Miles Barber if this inning continues for Prime Baseball. Their strike. Again, 3-0 is your lead for USA Prime here in the top of the third inning in the Upperclass World Series final. That makes it 2-2.
Try to go back to the breaking ball there. Just pulled it a little bit too far to the glove side.
Gets the punch out. Tomczak tries the back pick throw to first to get the runner.
Went back to the fastball there on the outer half. It's perfect, the perfect pitch if you're as a catcher if you're going to try to back pick that guy at first. That's the perfect pitch to do it on, especially with that right-handed hitter.
Now, this is Mercer commit Case and Fletcher from Lowndes. He's the 11th ranked shortstop in Georgia, number 39 overall.
I've seen Martin go through a lot of first pitch breaking balls, especially to the middle of this prime order.
Fires the 1-0 foul.
Hasn't been able to land the first pitch breaking ball for a strike the last two hitters, and seems to automatically go back to the fastball there once he misses with that. So
That's going to make it 2-1. Swing and a miss makes it 2-2. No, that's going to hit him, so going to have a free pass, painful free pass there for Fletcher. And now here comes second baseman Miles Barber with 2 on, 2 out.
gives prime baseball a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Maybe try to answer the 3 spot that was put up in the bottom half by USA Prime.
Barber out of Fountain Inn, South Carolina. I mentioned before, the number 1 middle infielder in South Carolina, 25. 5'9", 155-pounder. Martin misses. Tomczak going to come out and have a word with him. Got 2 number 11s coming to have a chat. This would be a flag if this was football.
2 the same guys on the field.
That's right.
Is that was that Florida that happened to in the opening week?
Yep. I think Ohio State had that happen as well.
You see a lot of guys in college football these days have like almost the fake jersey that they put on, especially the special teams guys. So
That's
there's
right.
not, multiple numbers out there. So maybe we need to look into having some of those for us and in the baseball world.
I like it. I'm sure we could find somebody to attach as a sponsor for our extra jerseys. All right, now 2-0. Barber gets on. Ben Fussell's to follow. Oh, Tomczak wanted that one.
Kind of seeing a similar script here in the 3rd inning from Martin as we did in the 2nd. Kind of 2 quick outs, and then kind of struggles to find the strike zone a little bit. Maybe another mound visit can kind of get him dialed back in.
They can get out of this with 1 pitch, 3-0. Nope, gonna have another walk. All right, so here comes Fussell. Fussell looking to a little bit of retribution here after getting 1 run in via balk and then allowing 2 via some hard hit balls in that last half of an inning. So far, Prime, no runs on 2 hits, and they've made 1 error. USA Prime has 3 runs on 1 hit. So Martin's going to continue. There's, again, 2 down in this inning, and now he's facing the opposing pitcher, Ben Fussell. Fussell 5'9", 160 from Coffee.
Missed there with a fastball. Interesting to see. Like we talked about, he's thrown a lot of first pitch breaking balls or change-ups here in this inning, and then maybe decided to go back to the heater there to kind of get back on track.
Here comes Martin with the 2-0. That one right down the middle. He goes back to a fastball here on 1-1.
He did, missed it just below the zone.
All right, now 2-1 to Fussell. Fussell, 2026. Again, we mentioned Junior Future Games alumni, 13th ranked shortstop in Georgia. Make it 3-1. Martin getting a little frustrated with himself.
It's a big pitch here is the 3-1 count with a chance to fight back a little bit from the 3 spot in the last inning.
That's going to get away, and run's going to walk in to make it 3-1. So Fussell on the end of 1 free run to another. A balk resulted in a run for USA Prime in the last half of the inning, and now he draws a walk for the first run for Prime Baseball in this half.
Looks like that will be all for Martin here. This is the second mound visit of the inning. We'll end his afternoon, it appears.
All right, so Martin goes off after Prime Baseball gets their first run. They've had 2 hits. So the direction they go here with their next arm. Working to see what number this is here for USA Prime, and this is number 16, Elms. This is Will Elms, another Alatoona pitcher. So go from one Alatoona arm to another one. Elms, a 2025 righty, 5'10", 170. Gets his fastball up to 82. Also works in a curveball that's in that 66 to 70 range. So again, another arm that catcher Sam Tomczak's familiar with.
Looks like we've switched catchers as well. So the pitcher-catcher swap here for USA Prime.
Okay. Yeah, now behind the plate we've got Jackson Bradfield, number 5. So Bradfield was out in right field. So he moves behind the plate. It's now Will Elms on to pitch for Alatoona. Well, out of Alatoona, excuse me, for USA Prime. So Elms inherits a situation with bases loaded, 2 outs, and his team up 3-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning in the Upperclass World Series final.
It's always a fun spot to come into with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
All right, Bradfield gets back behind home plate and see what Elms is able to do here to start things off as he faces Roman Colella. Colella fires that one to second base, makes a stop to first. It's a stretch, but able to make it. So we're going to get out of that half of an inning, but not before USA Prime is able to get their first run across the plate via a walk. So 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning here in the Upperclass World Series final. Interesting with this Prime baseball team, they just rolled through everybody up until this point in the tournament, getting a little bit pressed here, and certainly, you know, pitching I think was something that we talked about was going to be a question mark, and I think that's, you know, something we're seeing. Again, that Fussell said he was going to try to go as long as he could, but to this point, their bats just haven't really responded to back him up.
Absolutely. Martin's done a really good job up until that last inning with the walks, but, you know, pounded the strike zone, let his defense make plays. You know, unfortunately for Prime Baseball, they've hit a few balls hard, just right at guys. So, interesting to see how, when both teams get into the bullpen, to see, you know, what the game looks like at that point. Because, like you said, with the limited amount of pitching, might see some position guys that aren't normally pitchers get up and have to eat a few innings to try and get through this thing and win the game.
So we're going to go on to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Aiden Harris is going to be up for USA Prime scout, followed by Jake Gaskill and Jackson Bradfield, who has now moved behind the plate. So we're going to continue with Fussell here on the mound for Prime Baseball. See if he can get a little bit more dialed in this inning. He's shown it in spurts, but just trying to find that consistency, I think, has been the major sticking point for him as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Absolutely. Kind of like we discussed in the last half. Fussell was out there. He seems to be up with the fastball and down with the breaking ball. It's just got to finding that happy medium and finding that release point. Looks like he did a better job with the last hitter he faced, so we'll see if he can kind of keep that going here in the bottom half of the 3rd.
All right, again, he's going to face Aiden Harris, Jake Gaskill, and Jackson Bradfield for USA Prime in this half of an inning. Aiden Harris from Ola will be your first batter. Aiden, the 27th ranked outfielder in Georgia in 2025, 152 overall. Stands 6 foot 160. Skies that one, and first baseman's going to call everybody off and make the out. So 1 down, 1 pitch, 1 pop fly, and 1 out. Now it's time for Jake Gaskill. Jake from North Gwinnett High School. 11th ranked outfielder in the state. Talked about the wheels, that 6'4", 660 time last time he was up. Certainly seen a lot of Jake here. Also played in the PBR Cup, was at the top prospects games, preseason All-State. So he's been at Lakepoint many a times.
It's always interesting, especially to see these guys. The guys we see. It feels like every weekend grow and develop. It's one of the more enjoyable things about my job. So it's always a good thing to see. Is Fussell misses is there with another fastball up in the zone.
Yeah, I talked to some of the kids from that Canes Baseball Adams team that came down from Ohio to play. Swing and a miss. They didn't make it onto bracket play, but talking to the parents on that team, they said that the kids were just so excited to come down here and play because they had just heard so much about Lakepoint. To them, it was more of a destination than it was in terms of a lot of these kids that we're seeing play in this game right here who are here so much. It's just interesting to hear from parents and players that don't really get down here very much to just hear, how big of a deal it was for them to come down and play in this tournament.
Absolutely, we hear that all the time. I mean, I'm having not grown up in the Atlanta area. It was a big deal. I know my first few times here, it's like you show up to this place and it's like, whoa, this is a little different. Looking back now to 15-year-old me, and I work here full time, so it's that's always an interesting thing to look back at, and it just becomes normal. But we really do have to be appreciative of how awesome this facility is.
Yeah, PBR Nevada's Brett Harrison told me it's baseball Disneyland. He said Disneyland because they're out west, not Disney World. We would say Disney World. They said Disneyland. All right. Fires that one foul.
Yeah, we're very lucky to be able to run our events here, and it's a great place, and it definitely, when you say Lakepoint, people know exactly where you're talking about.
All right, so Fussell gets the K for out number 2, and nice pitch there on the breaking ball to have him go down on strike. So down to 1 out here, bottom of the 3rd remaining for USA Prime. Jackson Bradfield. Bradfield from Cherokee High School, Kennesaw State commit. 16th ranked outfielder in the state, 6 foot, 200 pounds. And watch this strike number 1. Profile on Bradfield talks about an explosive bat with hands of dynamite through contact.
That's always
it's pretty descriptive.
It's a very good description there.
I think that figures to be a pretty good Cherokee team.
Absolutely. They have a lot of talent there. We're really interested to get out and see those guys play in the spring.
He fires that one down the left field line. That's going to be 1 base. It's going to be 2 bases. He's going to stand on second with a 2-out double. It's a nice piece of hitting there from Bradfield.
Turn that one around at 98 miles an hour. So it's always a number as a hitter you love to see, especially when it finds some space in the outfield for an extra base hit.
So there'll be a runner at second with 2 down in the inning, and here's Ian Fullerton. Fullerton watches that one get squeezed down for strike number 1. Oh, they're going to call him a ball. Excuse me. Looked like they called it first strike. Sends the 1-0 through that hole there between first and second. Runner's going to take off for home. That ball is scooting back to the fence, and Fullerton is on the move on his way to third base. He's headed for home. That throw is going to be close. Play is going to be under the tag, so Fullerton able to dance around the base pass and build on this USA Prime lead here with a nice piece of hitting and just some heads-up base running.
that trip around the base is not quite as easy as his one yesterday when, he blasted the home run, but that's always a fun play to see, especially as a fan. The all inside the park home run, and it's interesting to see him still have some gas to get around there and score.
Big swing and a miss there, down to his knee. 5-1 though is the lead for USA Prime. That ball just kept rolling, and so did Ian Fullerton. High and inside, make it 2-1. 5-1 is your lead now for USA Prime here in the bottom of the third. Fires that one to first base. He's going to run up and make the play for 2. No, we're going to get out of that half of an inning. We're now going to be rejoined by Simone Stanley, who is off to the side of the field. So let's hear what Simone has in store for us.
USA Prime did make a pitching change at the top of the third inning. They changed their starting pitcher, Ben Martin, and their starting catcher, Sam Tomzik. I asked Sam about that change, and he said that the fatigue from the semifinal game going to 10 innings is starting to catch up to them defensively. But we see offensively, they still have it going. And Sam said that is big that they got out to a start offensively ahead of Prime Baseball.
Thanks, Simone. Yeah, a good point there. I mean, that last game going 10 innings just put a lot of stress on USA Prime, especially their pitching department. But those bats, and they came alive that last half of an inning. Jackson Bradfield comes through with the double, and then Ian Fullerton just showed off the bat and showed off the wheels there and delivering an inside the park home run. And your lead now stands for 5-1, as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning.
All right.
It's always USA Prime too, talking about getting off to that early start. In that semifinal game, it's a 9 a.m. game, and they looked up after the top half of the first inning, and they were down 6-0. So they had to claw back in that game to get it into extras and then be able to win it in extras. So I think the guys made it a point to try and get out to a little bit of a quicker start here in this game, so they didn't have to battle all the way back, because those games are. You have to come back from those big deficits. It always takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, watching that early on, it looked like Slammers were going to run away with that one, and they just kept clawing their way back and then end up, answering in extra innings, and just had to keep pushing to get that win in 10. So here's Quinn Johnson. He's going to start things off. Blake Bryant to follow, and then Tyson Brasington. And we get back to the top of the order for Prime Baseball. Again, this is Will Elms on the mound out of Allatoona for USA Prime, and he starts Johnson off with the ball. Makes it 1-1. Another miss makes it 2-1. Elms just a little out of sorts here to start off this half of an inning. Make it 3-1.
Seen the back-to-back misses there, arm side. Just needs to finish a little bit more and get that ball back on the plate.
Yeah, and obviously after what they did offensively this last half of an inning, the last thing Elms wants to do is start offering free passes here. But he's going to do just that. So a leadoff walk, and that's going to be a runner on for Blake Bryant. Got Tyson Brasington in that top of the order waiting in the on-deck circle.
Prime Baseball was able to capitalize there on a walk last inning to score a run. Let's see if they can do the same thing here.
Bryant not biting makes it 1-0. Bryant shoots that one at a shallow left, shortstop underneath to make the out. defensive changes for USA Prime. That looks like number 8 playing the shortstop now instead of Anthony Paletta.
I've seen the USA Prime pitching staff go to a lot of first pitch breaking balls. There was another one there, induced a swing and miss.
All right, so Elm starts him off with a swinging strike, make it 0-1. Here comes that delivery. Another swing, another miss.
Another breaking pitch there, so it's kind of opened up his possibilities here. Can go back to a third straight breaking ball or go back to the heater in the 0-2 count.
Well, Brazington watches that one slip inside for a ball.
Could we see 4 straight breaking balls here from Elms?
I'm going to say yes.
There's the fastball, kind of the same issue he had with the leadoff hitter. Just missed it a little bit up and in to a righty on the arm side, so it's doesn't quite have that release point down with the heater yet.
All right, runs the count full. You got a runner on first via the walk. Now going to be 2-1. Here comes Slade Bird. Mound visit for Elms here after issuing back-to-back walks here to start things off in the 4th inning for USA Prime. It's worked out pretty well last time with Ben Martin on the mound, so we'll see what happens now. All right, so a mound visit, and it's back to work for Will Elms. 1 down, 2-1 here in the inning. 5-1 is the lead for USA Prime. Slade Bird at the plate for Prime Baseball. Watches ball 1.
Like to see the catcher here maybe on the next fastball give an inside target just to kind of change the eyesights here. It continues to miss high and away.
Nope, make it 3-0.
Looks like that one just missed on the below the knees there, so another 3-ball count here for Prime Baseball.
Well, he's going to get a strike. Avoid the walk for now, but certainly is run into a little bit of an issue here for the first 4 batters of this inning. Here comes the 3-1 from Elms. Not going to get that, so another walk. So the bases are going to be loaded for Drew Hammock. Hammock from Crawford County. Watches that one just miss on the outside. So he goes to the breaking ball. We'll see what he follows back here in the 1-0, and Elms just trying to find some consistency here after issuing 3 straight walks. Sends that one down the left field line. Excuse me, 2 straight walks. He had a pop-up in between a leadoff walk.
Good to see him get back in the zone there with the fastball. It was pulled foul, but it was good to see, you know, that fastball get back in there.
All right, Elm steps off. All right, here comes the 1-1 from the Alatoona righty. Missed glove side.
Went back to the breaking ball there, and just struggling a little bit to find the release point on both pitches right now. He's kind of what we saw with Fussell. He's a little bit in between.
Another miss on 2-1. You know, Prime Baseball does have a bit of a cushion here, up 5-1, but obviously they don't want to be walking across runners. That one skied into the left field. The center fielder going to be able to.
It looks like that.
That ball's down, so 1 run's going to score. 2 runs are going to score. So a 2-run double going to cut into this lead for USA Prime. Makes it 5-3. Nice piece of hitting there from Drew Hammock to put a couple runs on the board for Prime Baseball.
Was all over that fastball there. Turned it around at 97-mile-an-hour exit velo. We've seen two exit velos, one from each team up in that, you know, sort of area. So seen a lot of hard hit balls here, especially the later in the game we go. So Prime Baseball still's got 2 guys on here, and both of them in scoring position. So a chance to tie is looks like we're going to have another pitching change here for USA Prime.
All right, so out goes Will Elms. We'll see who USA Prime goes with now.
I think that is Stone Cipher.
Update on this pitcher here as soon as we can see a number. All right, that is Michael Hunter Stone Cipher.
The primary catcher coming on here to try to get him out of a jam.
All right, he does have a fastball at 83, which you just saw, 82.9 on the radar gun there. Nearly a 2,100 spin rate. Also throws a curveball into the 70s and works a change in the mid-70s. At this point, you're just wanting a guy who's up there throwing strikes, so we'll see if Stone Cipher can be that guy for USA Prime as their lead has gone from 5-1 to 5-3 as Drew Hammock came through with a 2-run double for Prime Baseball. You talk about guys that you've watched develop here at Lakepoint Sports. I mean, Michael Hunter Stone Cipher's been here a ton. I mean, you go back to the Junior Feature Games ID back in June of 2021, all through the Underclass games, National Championships, Chop Prospect games, Future games, PBR Cup. I mean, this guy has just been here consistently to watch him become a catcher that we're now talking about being committed to Kennesaw State.
Absolutely, and he's one of the on the Future Games team. I had a chance to talk to him a lot. He's a awesome guy, awesome kid. I think Kennesaw State's getting a good one, so he's just a fun guy to be around. Everybody on the team seemed to like to just be around the guy, so that's always a plus.
All right, so 2 D1 commits going out of here. So this is Kason Fletcher, the Mercer commit, at the plate, and he fires the first offering for Stonecipher to left field, so another run's going to score. So Fletcher's going to be at first base with an RBI single to make it 5-4 here in the top of the 4th.
First pitch swinging there with a new pitcher on the mound. Was able to fire that one through the 5-6 hole there to drive in another run. And we're looked up, and it's a 1-run ball game here with the tying run on third and the go-ahead run on first for Prime.
Miles Barber, the second baseman, going to try to build on that as he steps to the plate. Stonecipher showing that curveball. Tigers at the 1-0, goes back to it. It almost looks like it has a little bit of a knuckle action to it.
It does. It's just missing with those, so would expect to see a fastball here from him.
And it does just that, 78, but it spikes it. He's just happy to see a fellow catcher be able to make that block and stop the ball.
As a fellow, he knows his fellow catcher behind the plate's not really happy with him with the spike fastball.
That one down the middle will make it 3-1.
I think I can speak for most catchers and say breaking balls in the dirt are fine. The fastballs in the dirt are the ones we don't like.
Oh, nice pitch there for the swing and the miss to make it 3-2.
Be interesting to see if we saw some action here at first base, try to swipe second, maybe steal a run on a throwdown or something like that with 2 strikes.
Throw to first. So the count's full. Again, 1 down here in the inning. Prime Baseball's responded with 3 runs here so far to make it 5-4. Next, shoots that one foul. So this AB is going to continue.
I think Stonecipher and I were on the same page there, with thinking the guy at first might be moving before that pitch.
All right, the 3-2 from Stonecipher. Another foul. Just pushes that one into left field. So that's going to be another run. So we're going to have a tie game. Stonecipher going to head into second. The throw to third. Going to get the runner. So Stonecipher standing on second. And he's even things up. But trading a run for an out as the throw to third base is going to get number 2.
It was a good job there by Barber to. He was a little bit out front, but stay back just long enough to push that one over the third baseman's head.
All right, here comes Ben Fussell. So now 5-5. Miles Barber standing on second base. Stonecipher delivers that for a strike. The 0-1 drops in a curveball for a strike.
Really good job here by Stone Cipher to get ahead in the count. We hadn't seen that much from either side today, but it's good to see him get ahead here, and a big at bat so far in this game.
Misses inside to make it 1-2. Goes back to the curveball, but a miss and make it 2-2. Fastball up, and he fires that one foul. Another foul.
I'm seeing Prime be able to put together quite a few long at bats today. They get behind early and are able to hang in there, fight, foul off some pitches, and
goes back to the curveball, and that one flicked away foul. He's had 2 strikes on him for seemingly an hour and a half here. All right, we'll see what Stone Cipher does this time. And 2-2 him against Fuller, sends that one between first and second. Second baseman makes a diving stop. Kind of hesitated, and that run's going to be in to make it 6-5, and Fuller's on his way to second base. Some hesitation there as the ball got past the second baseman, and Prime Baseball able to come through with another run.
was just able to get enough of that one to slide it by the second baseman there in the 3-4 hole. And that was Ben Fussell there with the guy that started for Prime Baseball. So good at bat, fouled off a lot of pitches. Like you said, it felt like he'd been at 2 strikes for an hour and a half, and it was a really good job, good piece of hitting to give him the lead here.
All right, so we've seen Prime Baseball come through with 5 runs in this half of an inning, and this is now Roman Colella. They now have 6 runs on 6 hits. Colella shoots that one foul back to the backstop to make it 1-1. So a big inning for Prime Baseball, and Roman Colella hoping he can help it to continue.
We kind of talked about it earlier. We knew this game would be interesting once they got past their starters, and you've kind of seen Prime Baseball here be able to take advantage of USA Prime's bullpen to put up a big number here in the top half of the 4th inning. Is like we said, they've been able to come back and take the lead. So I'm sure we're not seeing the end of the scoring here. I could be wrong. It has happened before, but it'd be definitely interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out.
Well, a full count to Colella. Stone Cipher has thrown 22 pitches so far in this inning. coming in relief for Will Elms. And he issues a walk. We'll be back to Quinn Johnson. So way back when Quinn Johnson started this inning for Prime Baseball. So they've batted around here in the top of the 4th inning.
He drew the walk that kind of got this whole thing rolling. Was able to get a leadoff base runner, and they've been able to hit a few balls hard, take advantage of some walks here, and en route to a very big inning for the guys.
All right, here comes the 1-0 from Stone Cipher. That one right down the middle, swing and a miss, make it 1-1.
Stone Cipher ran that one up to 84, so that's, judging by his PBR profile, that's a new personal best for him there. We had him listed at 83, so maybe some frustration coming out for Michael here.
Well, again, Michael, primarily a catcher and just out there trying to help his team out of the late goings here in this long tournament as they try to come through with the championship here in the Upperclass World Series final. Swing and a miss makes it 2-2. Just trying to get out of this inning. One in which Prime Baseball has scored 5 runs to take a 6-5 lead. All right, runs the count full.
We've got ourselves yet another 3-2 count. It feels like every at bat so far has been a 3-2 count in this game. So for both sides, so it's been a common occurrence today.
The 3-2, so another walk is going to load the bases, and here comes Blake Bryant. So here we got a guy who's primarily a pitcher hitting, facing a guy who's primarily a catcher pitching.
Should be a pretty interesting matchup, so we'll see.
Stone Cipher goes right down the middle for strike 2. That one was at 84.5. Bryant shoots that one to the left field gap. Another one's going to score. Here comes one more. A 2-out, 2-run single for Blake Bryant just builds on this Prime Baseball lead, and they have just opened things up here in the top of the 4th inning. Stone Cipher had him down to 2 strikes, and then Bryant just jumped on one, shoots it into the left field for 2 more runs to make it 8-5, a 7-run inning so far for Prime Baseball here. Just keeps tacking on with 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Good piece of hitting there with 2 strikes. I think Stone Cipher probably wish he had that breaking ball back. It sort of hung over the middle there for a little bit. Bryant was able to drive it to left center to drive in 2 more runs, and it's 1st and 3rd again. So back at the top of the order again as well for Prime Baseball.
Yep, here's Tyson Brasington. So see the leadoff man tries to knock in another one here. Stone Cipher misses on ball 1. Another miss. So far, 8 runs on 7 hits for Prime Baseball. USA Prime's got 5 runs on 3 hits. visit here with Stone Cipher. Talk about the road to get here. I mean, USA Prime was 4-0 outscoring opponents 36-2 winning their pool games, and then things got a little bit dicey there in that semifinal game before they pulled it out in 10 innings, 8-7, and they're going to need some more magic so far. They were leading, but now down 8-5 here in the top of the fourth.
They look to be in control of this game until really this half inning. You know, it's an impressive job by Prime Baseball to kind of come back from the miscue there they had that led to the inside the park home run, but they've answered the bell here and been able to, you know, put up a big number and take the lead, and another 3-0 count here, so the bases might be loaded yet again for these guys.
That one right down the middle, make it 3-1. Stone Cipher delivers and sends that one foul to make it 3-2.
3-2, 2 outs here, so we'll see the runner at first base get a head start. Be able to stay out of that force play at second. Once again, Stone Cipher and I are on the same page as I talk about somebody running and he throws
That's
over
right.
to first. So we seem to be thinking on the same page today so far.
Sends a 3-2 foul.
Now, Corey, another long at bat here for the Prime Baseball lineup. It seems like every at bat with these guys is going 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches, and you know that takes a toll on both the infielders and outfielders as well as the pitcher. Obviously, you know, it just feels like you can't finally close the door on these guys.
Yeah, we're at nearly 40 pitches for Stone Cipher. This is the 40th right there, and sends that one foul. So we're going to, I mean, it comes in relief here for Will Ohms, and just very quickly the pitch count's risen on him.
Just watching one of their games last night, and you could hear the emphasis with 2 strikes about guys being able to spread out and, you know, keep the at bat going, be able to put the ball in play. And you know, you can kind of see it here. You know, it seems they foul pitches and foul pitches and foul pitches off, and it's, you know, that's tough on a defense as well as a pitcher.
Runner's going to go, but draw a walk anyway, so the bases are going to be loaded once again. Slade Bird coming to the bat. Drew Hammock on the on-deck circle waiting to light the base pass on fire again, I'm sure.
Misses again there. Down and in to the lefty.
You see Blake Bryant there on second base, and Blake listed at about 140. I know the goal with him, I'm going to get a cold strike in the check swing. The goal with him is to put on some weight these next couple of years, way before he gets to Clemson, as they try to ratchet up that fastball velocity. The ball's going to get away. The runners are going to stay put.
Called strike there. The catcher just mishandled it a little bit. It's good to see Bryant's got the orange cleats. He might be Clemson ready already.
That's right. I think he is. Shoots that one to second base. We'll see this time they can make the play, and he does indeed to get out of that half of an inning. But I mean, not before. USA Prime just open things up here. 8-5 is their lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and We wondered, Avery, what was going to happen when the arms kind of started to get tested this late in the proceedings. We knew USA Prime used some extra pitchers to get through that 10-inning battle with slammers, and I think at this point you have to feel like we're seeing it catch up to them.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's these long events. It's hard for guys to, it's hard to have as many arms as you could possibly need, especially when you play a 10-inning game this morning. Especially in the fall, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday event, so you don't really want a guy on Friday night rolling out for 85 to 90 pitches and bouncing him back on Monday to pitch in some high leverage spots, especially, with these younger guys. It's, the athlete's arm health comes first. So,
Yep.
In the fall, it's a little bit more difficult than the 7-day events especially during the summer, where you can kind of throw the first day and be back ready for bracket play because it's a 7-day event. So.
Looks like Nolan Taylor is actually going to come on to pitch for Prime Baseball as this game continues. And then we're going to see Keaton Neal up to bat for USA Prime in this inning, followed by Fladibo and Heineman. So Nolan Taylor, again, going to be your pitcher. Nolan from Thomas County Central High School in Georgia. 2026, he's listed at 5'11", 155. At this point, what Prime Baseball wants is strikes.
Absolutely. I think both pitching staffs and both coaching staffs right now would be perfectly content with balls being hit and play. We've kind of seen the walk come back and get both teams. Prime early on, and then USA Prime, especially in that last inning. The walk bug definitely came back and got them a little bit, and give guys enough free base runners, they're bound to come around and score.
All right, so here's Keaton Neal going against Taylor to start off the bottom of the fourth inning for USA Prime. Prime looking to respond after giving up 7 runs in the top of the fourth inning.
The Prime baseball coaching staff here, I'm sure, was telling them, we got to come out and throw strikes, get a shutdown inning here. Don't be able to get the bats back up while they're hot, especially try to add on to this lead and score some more runs.
Taylor starts Neal off 2-0. Make it 3-0 as that breaking ball misses in the dirt. Leadoff walk on 4 pitches.
It's never what you want to do after your offense puts up a big numbers. Go out there and walk the leadoff guy, and now all of a sudden USA Prime has an opportunity to get some of those runs back here with a guy on first and nobody out.
So now Taylor is facing Fladibo with a runner on. Another miss, make it 5 straight balls. Again, Nolan Taylor out of Thomas County Central. 6 in a row.
Good work there behind the plate to keep that runner at first base. So it's always good to see the catchers back there working hard, especially in a high-scoring game on both sides.
Ends the streak with a strike. Count is now 2-1. Make it 3-1.
Big swing and a miss there on the 3-1 count.
Another walk. So back-to-back walks to start off this half of an inning for Taylor. And here comes Heineman. So the tying run at the plate after Prime Baseball scored 7 runs in the last half an inning to take an 8-5 lead. Sends that one foul.
That one's going to get away there and allow both runners to move up into scoring position. So similar for the earlier in the game, USA Prime is threatening again.
All right, so Nolan Taylor just trying to find his groove here as he comes on in this relief effort. He's issued a couple walks and now has a 1-1 count to start off this at bat. That one's going foul and unable to make a play, so the bat's going to continue, but has him now down 1-2. Heineman followed in the USA Prime batting order by Sam Tomczak. That one up the middle. Shortstop makes a spinning move, but throws not in time, so 1 run's going to score. Runner advances to third, and I'm at the corners here with nobody on, and Sam Tomczak up to bat here. Now 8-6 is your score. Nearly a nice play at shortstop there, but the throw just not in time. So Heineman able to make it to first, and we'll have runners at the corners.
You see again another leadoff walk in this game that's come around to score. It's been both sides, so the big thing I think for both pitching staffs right now is just the ability to throw strikes.
Tomczak watches ball 1. He's followed by Anthony Planeta. Back to the top of the order, Naden Harris if the inning continues. Tomczak watches ball 2. A little bit of the Soto shuffle there I think we just saw from Sam Tomczak.
Looked like it. The ball just missed on the inside half there, so good eye be able to take that one, showed some good plate discipline.
Sends it foul, makes it 2-1. Now 2-2 as that slips in at 78.6. All right, so runs the count full. Again, 2 on. Runners in the corners for Tomczak. 8-6 is your score here in the Upperclass World Series final. Sends that one foul.
Got ourselves another 3-2 count on the day. We need to get a little graphic in the bottom of a 3-2 count
That's
tracker.
Right. There you go. So after Stonecipher ratcheted up the pitching count in the last half an inning, we're seeing the same thing from Taylor. That's pitch number 21 as he walks the bases loaded. Shows bunt, gets it down, but goes foul.
Interesting there to show bunt with the bases loaded, nobody out, especially after following a walk. So That one's lined into left past a diving Fussell, and
One run's going to score, and a second run's going to score. So guess what? We are all tied up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So after a big inning for Prime Baseball, USA Prime is responding in turn as Anthony Planeta ties things up. Back to the top of the order, and Aiden Harris now up to bat again for USA Prime and watches that one for a strike. Again, 8-8 is your score. Had a 7-run inning from Prime Baseball and looked like they were taking control of this, but some walks have come back to haunt Prime Baseball in this half, and it's now 8-8 as Anthony Planeta tied things up with that base hit, and Aiden Harris there showing bunt, but that one gets away foul. So 1-2 is the count. Taylor up to 27 pitches so far in this inning. On that offering right there makes it 2-2. Sends that one foul. So we so far have seen a combined 10 runs scored in this 4th inning. 7 by Prime Baseball and 3 so far in this inning by USA Prime, and they're threatening again with no outs. And here's the 3-2. Misses, so another walk. And we're going to have the bases loaded once again. Here comes Jake Gaskill. Jake from North Gwinnett High School. We've talked about Jake a couple times now. So that's going to be it for Nolan Taylor. So we're going to have a pitching change for Prime Baseball after we've seen 3 runs scored by USA Prime in this half an inning. So we'll be back in a moment here to see who's on the mound for Prime Baseball. You're watching the Upperclass World Series Final from Lakepoint Sports. New pitcher for Prime Baseball is Drew Hammock as we continue here in the Upperclass World Series Final from Lakepoint Sports. I'm Corey McCartney. Hammock came through big time at the plate for USA Prime this last half an inning. We'll see what the 6'1", 160-pounder from Crawford County, Georgia is able to do. Primarily listed as a right-handed pitcher, although we saw him show out again at the plate this last half an inning. Gets that fastball up into the 85 range, works in a curveball in 65 to 68, along with a changeup to 75, 77. But I think as Avery Hunt from PBR Georgia and I were talking about this last half an inning, the biggest thing you want right now from any of these pitchers is just to throw strikes. I mean, certainly with a game this late into a tournament, and we've seen these offenses just feasting and offenses taking advantage of walks. What these coaches want right now are strikes and the ability for those defenses behind them to make some plays. So we'll see if Drew Hammock's able to do that. The bases are loaded for USA Prime, and difficult situation that Hammock inherits, and he's going to have Jake Gaskill up to the plate for USA Prime with Ian Fullerton and Michael Hunter Stonecipher to follow. So let's see what is in store here with Jake Gaskill as he digs in against Drew Hammock. All right, Hammock delivers and sends that one foul. I want at 84.9. So Hammock right on line with this PBR profile that says 85, and that one goes another foul. That one a change up at 65. All right, so there's going to be one down. Jackson Bradfield now up to plate. He's the first out of the inning for USA Prime. Again, they've scored 3 runs so far this inning to pull things even at 8-8 here in the bottom of the 4th. Nice pitch there to make it 1-1. See what he comes back to here in the 1-1 count. Swing and a miss makes it 1-2. So Bradfield going to be followed by Ian Fullerton. Sends that foul. Comes the 1-2 from Hammock. A miss at 83.9. Runs that count to 2-2. Hammock versus Bradfield. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one just ricochets foul. So the AB is going to continue. A 2-2 count. 9 pitches so far for Drew Hammock. That last one at 83.9. A miss. He runs the count full. So Hammock was up in this count, but now finds himself behind and makes it 3-2. He draws another walk. So Hammock walks in a run. That's going to make it 9-8 USA Prime here in the bottom of the 4th. As Sam Tomczak has some words for Ian Fullerton as he walks home to make it 9-8 USA Prime. Ian Fullerton came through big time in the top of the 4th inning as he turned a double into a Little League home run as the ball got away and rolled to the fence. Sends a dribbler to shortstop, going to go over his head into center field, so 1 run's going to score. Here comes the 2nd run, and Ian Fullerton having himself a day, a 2-run single to build on this lead for USA Prime. Back on top here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nice piece of hitting by Ian Fullerton. Just sends that one up the middle over top of the shortstop's head into center field. So 2 more runs going to score. And man, he just keeps coming through with RBI for USA Prime in this game. That is 3 on the day for Fullerton. (11-8) is now the lead. No leads seem safe as the offenses are taking advantage of some miscues as these pitching staffs are just getting pretty much depleted here in the late goings of this long tournament. Stretching into a Monday here in Emerson, Georgia. Watches one down the middle, but the umpire stepped out. He said, that pitch doesn't count, young man. USA Prime player leaving behind, walking out. Got to beat traffic. All right, 11-8 is the score. Here's the 1-0. That's in for a strike to Stone Cipher. And the 1-1. That one drops in. Nice looking curveball there at 68 for strike number 2. Stone Cipher to shuffle his way out of the mix for that one to make it 2-2. Fires that one foul. So this at bat going to continue, and seemingly a running storyline throughout this game is long at bats is between the walks and the fouling off pitches. This has just been a lot of arms getting worked so far in this game. Again, 11-8 is your score in the bottom of the 4th. Been a combined 13 hits between these teams. The runner's going to take off. The throw to third is not in time, so the runners are both going to advance, but trade a strikeout for an advancement there. So 2 down in the inning. We've already seen 6 runs scored in this half of an inning by USA Prime. That coming after 7 runs were scored by Prime Baseball to start the 4th inning. So here's Keaton Neal. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. Neal from Spring Hill High School in Kansas. Neal uncommitted, but he's the top-ranked shortstop in Kansas in 2026. Second-ranked player in the state overall, and he's going to ground out to third base and going to be through that half an inning. But, man, some absolute fireworks coming through in that half an inning. 13 combined runs. 11-8 now is your lead for USA Prime. We'll be back with more shortly here from Emerson, Georgia. This is the Upperclass World Series Final.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super, 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 super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women. We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Back here at the Upperclass World Series final at Lakepoint Sports, I'm Corey McCartney. 11-8 is your lead for USA Prime over Prime Baseball after we had 13 combined runs score in this last inning, the fourth inning. Just absolute fireworks. And we're not going to throw it down to Simone Stanley, who has more from outside the dugouts.
I asked USA Prime's Coach Gaskin what it's going to take to pull this one out, and he simply said, with a laugh, we have to stop walking people. But he said, in all seriousness, these championship games always go like this because arms are tired at this point. He said he told his team that this is going to come down to mental toughness. Whichever team wants it more, can concentrate more on defense, will get this win today. And, of course, he's hoping it's his prime squad.
Yeah, good point, Simone. And great quote there. Great quote there from the coach. And I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean, that's what Avery Hunt and I were talking about. I mean, arms are just so depleted at this point in a tournament. You're just looking to cobble together something to get through this. That's why we so often see guys who aren't primarily pitchers out there pitching at this stage in an event. And Drew Hammock sends that one to third base, and the throw going to be over to first in time for an out. And that's something that they are clearly just looking for, are just a collection of outs at this point in the game. And Ian Fullerton able to get that as he starts things off with an infield out for USA Prime. So one down. Now we're going to be on to Caden Fletcher. Kaysen Fletcher, I'm sorry. Kaysen Fletcher, the Mercer commit. Apologize for that one there, Kaysen. Kaysen has already come through big time at the plate for Prime Baseball, as a lot of players have so far, as we've seen a combined 13 hits and 19 runs scored in this game. Fletcher skies that one into left field. That one going to be off the wall, so he's going to be in for a double, another double for Kaysen Fletcher. And, man, the Mercer commit showing out big time with that bat here. Just banging that one off the wall. Jumped on something early. Gets Prime Baseball going with some extra base magic here in the top of the fifth inning. So now here's Miles Barber, the second baseman. One down in the inning, so we'll see if Miles can tack on another run here with a guy in scoring position. Fullerton just up there throwing strikes, not messing around. Again, that's what these coaches are wanting at this stage in this event and this late in the game. Misses with the curveball at 58. Nice curveball right down the middle, 67.2, makes it 1-2. I like this tempo from Fullerton, just gathers and throws. Going to be a third across the diamond in time for the out. The runner's going to advance the third. That throw going wild, but going to glance off the fence and back to the third baseman. So not enough time for that runner to move on to home. So going to be 2 down in the inning. Nice little turn of fortune there for USA Prime as that throw got away from the third baseman as they tried to get the double play. So 2 down, 11-8 again is your score for USA Prime. Ian Fullerton just up there throwing strikes. He's got 2 down on just 9 pitches so far. That one gets away from him. That breaking ball at 66.6. Another miss at 73.3 makes it 2-0. He's done a nice job of letting guys put the ball in play. Obviously, Kaysen Fletcher jumped on one big time, but this is Ben Fussell, who was the starting pitcher for Prime Baseball. Ben primarily a shortstop, one of the top-ranked shortstops in the state of Georgia in 2026. Ben watches that in to make it 2-1. PBR profile on him, it says very tough in the box, very mechanically sound, knows the game of baseball, and he sends that one into right field for a base hit, and that's going to score a run for Prime Baseball. 11-9 now is your score. So very tough in the box indeed, very mechanically sound indeed as he sent that one into right field for an RBI single to cut into that USA Prime lead, make it 11-9. So with 2 down, here's the catcher, Roman Colella. Colella watches ball 1. Sends that one foul. Quinn Johnson going to be at bat, if this inning continues for Prime Baseball, and Blake Bryant to follow him. "20 combined runs, 15 combined hits, and we are not done yet." And he gets the punch out, but not before we see Prime Baseball eat into this lead. 11-9 is the edge for USA Prime as we head on here at Lakepoint Sports. You are watching the Upperclass World Series from Emerson, Georgia. We'll be back with more shortly. You are watching the Upperclass World Series here from Lakepoint Sports in Emerson, Georgia. I am Corey McCartney. 11-9 is your lead for USA Prime as we march on. 15 combined hits for these teams here at the bottom of the 5th inning, and it feels like we are far from done in terms of the offensive eruptions for these squads as these pitching staffs. And I know we've said it so many times, but these arms have been tested, these pitching staffs have been tested, and we are seeing these teams go deep into their coffers here trying to gut out this championship win here on a Monday in a balmy October. It's October and it's 80 degrees out here in Georgia. Drew Hammock on the mound for Prime Baseball. He's got a new batter coming into this game, Perkins, now in for Prime Baseball. Matthew Perkins from Alatoona will hit for USA Prime. Matthew, the 43rd ranked right-handed pitcher in Georgia in the class of 2025. So we're going to see what this 5'9", 155-pounder can do at the plate. Skies that one into right field. The second baseman on the run makes a catch as he falls to the ground. A little athleticism display there from second base to get the out. So 1 down. That's exactly what Drew Hammock wants to see, is some easy outs here in this inning, although probably nothing easy by the bodily contortions we just saw there from the second baseman. Well, we've got 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. Now here's Heineman. Heineman, the designated hitter. Sam Tomczak waiting in the on-deck circle for USA Prime. All right, 2-0 is your count to Heineman. Heineman skies that one. Second baseman's getting a run of the diamond here. Now he's over behind shortstop, making out number 2. So this kid's getting his sprints in here on the bottom of the 5th inning. He's made both of the first 2 outs. The First one, a running play into right center, and then he runs behind the shortstop position to make out number 2. See if Sam Tomczak can give the second baseman something to do here with 2 outs in the inning. Tomczak was the starting catcher for Allatoona. I did an interview with Sam a year or so ago just about his development behind the plate, and he takes a lot of pride in what he's able to do defensively, and takes a lot of pride as well in his color coordination skills. As Avery Hunt had pointed out, you got the pink bat, the pink arm sleeve, the pink shoes. Got to bring that swag. All right, 1-1 is your count to Tomczak. Hammock misses glove side to make it 2-1. See if his second baseman can get involved in this play. Unfortunately, that one's going into the outfield. Second baseman didn't know what to do with himself. He wasn't able to make a play on that one. So a 2-out single for Sam Tomczak. And that brings up Anthony Planeta, the shortstop. So after Planeta, we are at the top of the order for USA Prime and back to Aiden Harris. That ball glanced off the butt end of Planeta's bat, it looked like, so it's going to be 0-1. He tried to turn away from the ball. Let's see where Hammock goes with the 1-0-1. Misses glove side to make it 1-1. Again, you got Sam Tomczak on first base right now. He came through with a 2-out single. There's 2 down in the inning. 11-9 is your lead for USA Prime. The bottom of the 5th inning here in the Upperclass World Series final. That makes it 2-1. So Hammock very quickly got those first 2 outs and then allows that single. See if he can get himself out of trouble here with this count going in the wrong direction against Anthony Planeta. Gets that one in for a strike to make it 2-2. Call that 66 on the radar gun. Comes back with a swing and a miss. You throw over to first on the pass. Oh, foot going to be down in time to get the out. So nice little run there from Hammock to get through things, stranding a runner. We'll head to the 6th inning. It is 11-9, your lead for USA Prime. This is the Upperclass World Series final from Lakepoint Sports. It's getting late early here in the Upperclass World Series final. I'm Corey McCartney here from Lakepoint Sports in Emerson, Georgia. 11-9 is your lead for USA Prime. We've seen a lot of offensive fireworks in this game so far. He combined 20 runs on 16 hits. That's Ian Fullerton on the mound for USA Prime as we head on to the 6th inning here. Quinn Johnson going to come up for bat for Prime Baseball to start off this inning, followed by Blake Bryant and Tyson Brazington. USA Prime took a 3-0 lead USA Prime Baseball came back with a run in the third, and it was 5-1 USA Prime before Prime Baseball scored 7 runs to start the 4th inning, and USA Prime responded with 6 runs of their own in the bottom of the 4th, and then we saw 1 run for Prime Baseball in the 5th. Makes it 11-9 here as we march on. See if what Ian Fullerton's got in store here as he starts things off against the first baseman for Prime Baseball in Quinn Johnson. Johnson skies that one into center field, but able to camp underneath that and make the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 hit, 1 out for USA Prime. They have to like that start by Ian Fullerton here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's Blake Bryant. Blake came through with an RBI hit last time up. Blake sends that one to third base across the diamond. Not going to be in time, so 2 down on 2 pitches, and Ian Fullerton having himself an efficient inning here in the bottom of the 6th inning. But it's going to be the top of the order for Prime Baseball and Tyson Brasington. So I have to say, if we are putting together a list of MVP candidates for USA Prime, if they hold on, Ian Fullerton making a serious case as he's come through with 3 RBI at the plate, and now he's looked awfully strong coming through in this relief effort. All right, 0-1 to start out this AB. But we're going to have a base runner, so not as an efficient an inning as I wanted to give Ian Fullerton, but he's got a chance to get out of it here. We're again back to the top of the order. So we just saw Tyson Brasington reach first, and now here is Slade Bird, the shortstop. Bird watches that for strike 1. Make it 2 strikes. Say one thing about Ian Fullerton, he has come into this game and is filling up the strike zone. Comes the 0-2. Swing, a miss, and he gets out of that half an inning. What is turning into a nice relief effort here from Ian Fullerton. 11-9 is your lead for USA Prime. We will be back with more shortly here from Lakepoint Sports. This is the Upperclass World Series Final. Back here from Lakepoint Sports in Emerson, Georgia, I'm Corey McCartney, and this is the Upperclass World Series Final. 11-9 is your lead for USA Prime as we head on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Aiden Harris going to be up to bat for USA Prime in this half an inning, followed by Jake Gaskill and Jackson Bradfield. Drew Hammock continues on the mound for Prime Baseball. Saw a nice scoreless inning, just the second we've had so far in this game. The 2 teams were scoreless in the 1st inning, and then we saw combined 20 runs scored between the 2nd and 5th innings before they saw what has transpired this last 2. So nice run so far here from USA Prime, trying to build on this. They've taken this lead and see what they can build on it. Again, Aiden Harris followed by Jake Gaskill and Jackson Bradfield. sends the 1-0 into left field for a base hit. All right, so a leadoff single by Aiden Harris, and now here's Jake Gaskill. That's the 10th hit of this game for USA Prime. Hammond pumps in strike number 1. Throw over to Harris at first is not in time. Hammock has him down 0-2, steps off. Swing and a miss on the 0-2, so a strikeout for Drew Hammock. All right, so 1 down. He starts him off 0-1. Runner's going. Throw's going to be not in time. So another runner in scoring position for USA Prime as Aiden Harris takes second base on the steal. Comes the 0-2. A swing, a miss, another strikeout for Drew Hammock. He gets Jackson Bradfield down on strikes, and now here's Ian Fullerton. Fullerton, shades of MVP for this game so far as he's been dynamite at the plate, going 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, has a couple strikeouts on the mound. Can call it a home run if you want to, but it was technically scored as a double that he was able to add 2 extra bases onto in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He's facing a 1-1 count against Drew Hammock, who struck out the last 2 batters after allowing a leadoff single to Aiden Harris, who's stolen second base. Fullerton just missed that one and knows that he did as he sends that one back to the padding. Been a monster day for Fullerton. We mentioned him in the get-go that he was the one that delivered the walk-off hit in the 10-inning win over Slammers in the semifinals to get USA Prime to this game. And he's done nothing but build on that here in the championship. Makes it 2-2. As much as his team, I know, enjoys his contributions at the plate, just what he's been able to do in this relief effort has to loom just as large when quality pitching is hard to come by at this stage. And he skies that one into center field. The center fielder's on his way back and going to make the catch. So a very loud out for Ian Fullerton ends this inning. It's 11-9 as we march on here to the 7th inning of the Upperclass World Series final. 11-9 is your lead for USA Prime, and we will be back with more shortly from Lakepoint Sports.
Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
It comes down to this for Prime Baseball. They trail 11-9 in the top of the 9th inning here in the Upperclass World Series final against USA Prime. I'm Corey McCartney here at Lakepoint Sports, and been a display of fireworks, I think is the best way to put it. We've seen a combined 20 runs, 18 hits so far as we march on in this Monday, this long tournament. Ian Fullerton has come in relief and looked awfully strong here for USA Prime. He's got a couple of strikeouts so far and done really nothing but fill up the strike zone, and does exactly that to start off with a breaking ball to get things going here on this AB for Prime Baseball. This is Drew Hammock, who was pitching the last half an inning. He'll be followed by Mercer commit Kason Fletcher and Miles Barber. See if Fullerton can lock this thing down. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball makes it 0-2. It's got him guessing. I would expect, considering what we've seen from him, going to be a strike, going to be a fastball coming here. All right, make it one down in the inning. Starts him off 1-0, excuse me. Shoots that one up the middle. Second baseman able to make the play in time, and now 2 down. USA Prime 1 out from winning the Upperclass World Series Championship. And for Prime Baseball, it's down to Miles Barber. See if Lassiter's Ian Fullerton can finish this thing off. Does not get that pitch on the corner, makes it 1-0. Another miss makes it 2-0. And make that 3-0. Fullerton's looked awfully strong. Comes back, and that one is skied foul. 89.5 on the exit velo on that, and that looks just like a monster shot. Miles Barber sends that one into left field and going to be in for a double So a 2-out double from Miles Barber extends this inning for USA Prime, and that brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Ben Fussell. Ben was the starting pitcher for Prime Baseball in this. Ben, we've talked about multiple times so far in this broadcast, a junior feature games alumni, the 13th ranked shortstop in Georgia in 2026. Again, I mean, you read the profile on this guy, and it just talks about clutch, mechanically sound, coming through on the plate. So that's exactly what Prime Baseball needs out of their shortstop right now, is they need him to deliver some magic here with 2 down in this game. They're down to their last out as USA Prime's trying to wrap up the Upperclass World Series championship, and that one gets away from Fullerton, and he looked so strong through the first 2 2/3 innings of this relief effort, but gave up a 2-out double, and now he's got a 2-0 count to Fuller, make it 3-0. Again, I'm sure the last thing that USA Prime wants to do is have to make a pitching change, just needing 1 out to secure this victory and a championship. But he walks him on 4 pitches. So we go from Ben Fussell to Roman Colella, the catcher. Two on, 2 out. There's the breaking ball for a strike that Fullerton's had so much success with in this appearance. Does it once again, so down to the last strike for Prime Baseball. See if does he go back to that breaking ball, or does he go fastball here? Swing and a miss, and that one's getting away from the catcher, but going to make the throw to first in time. And USA Prime is your Upperclass World Series champions. They are 11-9 winners over Prime Baseball, so something for these boys to celebrate as they come through with a monster 4th inning. 6 runs they score after allowing 7 in that top of the inning to Prime Baseball, and they end up winning this with 11 runs on 8 hits. And man, can't say enough about the fight that these two teams showed, both of them having to get to this point of this long tournament. And we saw Prime Baseball just rolling through opponents, and they looked like they were going to do that once again as they put together that big 4th inning. But hats off to Prime Baseball. They responded with 6 runs in that inning, and then I really don't think you can say enough about what we saw from the relief effort from Ian Fullerton over those last 3 innings. He steps into this game and just allows 1 earned run in 3 innings, ends up striking out 3, allows 4 hits. Guy who's primarily a first baseman for Lassiter. He does pitch as well, but man, he came through, and I think, you know, it's hard to look at what he did, and coming through 2 for 3 at the plate, had a double that he was able to extend into a Little League home run there as that ball rolled into the fence. So plenty more here coming from Lakepoint Sports. Again, 11-9 is your win for USA Prime as they celebrate getting those T-shirts, and this is always one of the best moments here of these championships here at Lakepoint Sports, as these kids going to get to revel in this for a moment as they get the hats, they get the T-shirts, they get to stand in front of the banner. But USA Prime is your winners here at the Upperclass World Series Championship. We're going to be back with more here from Lakepoint Sports. I'm Corey McCartney. We'll be back shortly here from Emerson, Georgia.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Back here at Lakepoint Sports, I'm Corey McCartney. 11-9 is the win for USA Prime over Prime Baseball. They are the Upperclass World Series champions. I'm joined by Ian Fullerton out of Lassiter, the game MVP. Ian, man, first of all, congratulations on the win.
Sir. Thank you.
And let's get into this. A monster day for you because not only do you have the showing that you have in the championship game, you hit that walk-off in the 10th inning to even get to that point. So just kind of how can you describe everything that's unfolded for you guys today?
You know, it was 6-0 in the first inning. It didn't look great. You know, we were low hopes, but we always keep a positive attitude going into the games, and you know, we slowly chip away. And when we have a chance, they make a few errors, and we 6-4. We're like, oh, we can win this. I mean, we're telling the team, hey, we got a good chance to win this game. So, you know, we end up tying it, and then you know, it's the California rules, so we keep getting close, but not quite. And you know, I end up coming back in the order, and my mindset is just put the ball in play, you know, make a play, and I was able to find a hole and able to get it through. So
in the championship, you end up going 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. What are we scoring this? Because in the scorebook, it had it as a double that you stretched into a little league home run. Are you calling it an inside the park home run?
No. I mean, that's probably a single if he fields it correctly. You know, if he makes throw home, I'm able to stretch it to 2. But fortunately enough, he was able to miss it, and I was able to beat it out.
So you come through big at the plate, and I don't know that enough can be said about what you did on the mound. I mean, you come in and allow just 1 earned run. You end up striking out 3 over 3 innings. You get to this point of a tournament, everybody knows that pitching is, I mean, it's hard to come by at this point in the inning. How much pressure did you put on yourself to go out there and perform when your team needed you to?
I mean, not a lot. I haven't pitched in a little while. You know, it's just get the ball over the plate, make them hit the ball, make my defense make plays, and I was able to just throw it over there, and we were able to get some plays and get some outs.
I know you're the 12th ranked first baseman in Georgia in the class. Do we need to start putting you in as a relief pitcher to have those rankings too?
I mean, yeah, I'm all for moving up.
All right, tell me about the guys coming together and getting this win together. I know that they ended up taking 2 of your teams and putting them together for you guys to be able to play this. I mean, obviously, this is a Monday. There's lots of kids that had to go on and get to school. Tell me about the guys just coming together and the fight that it took for you guys to be champs.
We were low on everything, so, you know, it took everybody. It takes everyone to make a team, to make like a fluent movement. And we were able to have some pitchers pitch. Some guys came out of school, came early. And, you know, a few missed school. We had the younger kids. We only had 3. The ones from Colorado, so I mean they're here for the day. So even though he had to leave early the first game, but you know, having the guys who are here for the team and here for each other, it really helps us, you know, gel as a team, and hopefully we can do that moving towards the summer.
Well, listen, Ian, man, congratulations!
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, absolute fantastic performance today. You've been watching the Upperclass World Series Championship here from Lakepoint Sports. We'll be back with more shortly from Emerson, Georgia. Welcome back to Lakepoint Sports. I'm Corey McCartney. 11-9 was your win for USA Prime over Prime Baseball, and what was an electric Upperclass World Series championship saw a combined 20 runs on 19 hits in this game, and you heard from game MVP Ian Fullerton. Just a fantastic game. I want to thank Avery Hunt for joining the broadcast, and of course you heard from Simone Stanley as well. Make sure if you're not already, you are following Lakepoint Sports on all our social media channels. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You'll get so much more happening here on campus, and you'll also know about when we have our next Game of the Day broadcast. Appreciate everybody joining us, and we'll see you soon on the Diamond.